Hello everyone, welcome back to another lab session in Google Cloud Skills Boost. So in this lab, we'll see about the ETL processing on Google Cloud using Dataflow and BigQuery with the Python language. So without any further delay, let me start the lab. So in this lab, we are going to use the credits. I have some credits, so I'm going to use 5 credits for this. Okay, so in this lab, I'm not going to deep down discussion or explanatory about what the topics we are going to touch. I'm not going to discuss about this. The main idea of this lab is to execute the task that is provided in the GCP. Okay, so I recommend you to pause the video and get into the contents if needed. I will anyway pause the video for a few seconds to go for you to go through the steps. Okay, so in the meantime, let me sign in properly. So this is the Google Cloud console and some all the terms and services and agreements. So this is done. So uh, so you can pause the video and go through the what is about the data flow and what we are going to do in this. Okay, so in this lab we are going to build and run data flow pipelines using Python to ingest data from cloud storage to BigQuery. And second, same pipeline will transform and enrich the data in BigQuery. And finally, we'll join the BigQuery and write the results in the table. So these are all the activities we are going to do in this lab. So coming to setup and requirements, this is just now I have done. So setup is done already. So let's see if there is uh, anything that needs to be done. Okay, so we have the student, we have the password, everything is good, and terms and conditions, everything is lit. Okay, let's do this active. Let's activate the Cloud Shell. So here is the button. When you click on this, then you will get this Cloud Shell. Let's continue. And there will be one authorization as well. Yes. Okay. So authorization is also done. If we want, we can use this. So we can check this account. Let me paste this code. So we have the list of account, student ID and the account. Looking good. So we got the output, and also if we want to list the project, so you can see the project ID as well. So this is the same project as this. You can see it over in the console. Okay, so let's start with ensure the data API is successfully enabled. So let's go ahead with this. Let's enable the data flow API. So for this, either we can search in the navigation menu or you can search it over here saying data flow API. Okay, here you can see data flow API. Once you select the manage. So click disable API. If confirm, click enable. When the API is renamed, the page shows disabled option. Okay, let's do the same thing. Now let's click disable API. Click disable. Okay, now we got the enable API. So basically we wanted to disable and enable. This is just for our practice purposes they are mentioning. So you can leave it as is if you already have this. And also you can notification, you can say this. So we have disabled and enabled the data flow API. So let's check the progress. Looking good. Now let's go back to this. Run the following code in the Cloud Shell to get data flow examples services from GitHub. Let's see what is this link is about. So in this link there is a professional services with examples. So out of which we are going to use the data flow Python examples. Okay, so getting the code, we are pushing it in the Google Cloud Storage. So this is copying everything. So if you want to see the Google Cloud Storage, you can go ahead and see. Let me open it in a new tab. You can see the buckets. Let me close the tutorial. So we copied it to our local project. Now let's set the variable. Okay, okay, this is opened in this tab. Okay, now we have set the variable for the project and set the project ID. So if you see the downloaded files, you can find it in this Dataflow Python examples in the downloaded files. When you see the directory ls, so we'll be able to see. So now we have set the variable of project ID and the configuration set to project. Now create a cloud storage and copy the files. Okay. So now I already opened it here. So now I copied the code. So you can see Google Cloud Storage buckets create GS project. The project is, this is the project name. Project name and the location is Europe West 1. So let's hit enter. So this is creating the project. Let's try to refresh and see whether the project is created. Yeah, you can see the project is just created in the Europe region. Okay, let's check the progress. This should be, assessment is passed. Now copying the file. Okay, now Google Cloud copy, and we know this is the file, and pushing into the different file name. So I'm just copying everything here and then pasting it in the code. And let me see this project. We are to see the files. We'll be able to see the file in here in few seconds. So I hope there is one file got dated. Let's refresh and see. Let me refresh. Yeah, you can see the data files, and there are more files, and you can see the head USA name as well as USA names. So all the two files with the same 307 bytes, and another is 169.8 bytes. Okay, so let's check the progress. Assessment completed. Now create a BigQuery dataset. Okay, in Cloud Shell, create the dataset named lake. So we call it as BigQ make lake. Before this, let's try BigQuery. Let's go and see the studio in a new link. Okay, done. I'm happy. Okay, this is coming. Let me open it as a new window. So for a bigger picture, instead of going here, let me close this. Okay, we have three tabs open with the different products of Google Cloud, and also we have a shell. Okay, now BQ MK lake. So I'm trying to build a lake in this query. Okay, in this repository, we'll see. So the lake, the data set within the project, and the lake is successfully created. Let's visually see this. Let's see whether this got created. Don't see any shared queries here. Let me try to refresh and see. Let me go to the home page. Or let me directly open it here from here. No, I just wanted to check where this query is the lake dataset has been created. Okay, here it is. You can see it here. I think we should refresh the page. So lake has been created. Let me select the lake. There is nothing here because we are not yet to push the data. Okay, so data set completed, IDs is created is yet. Okay, now let's review and run the data ingestion pipeline. I will leave it for you guys to go through this understanding, but what I will do is like I will directly go to here and execute the task. Okay, so here I have a open editor, and now navigate to open folder. But okay, here they didn't mention anything about it. Okay, inside the student. Okay, once you open it, now you will be able to see inside the student data flow examples, and this is what we have just downloaded, and data flow Python examples and data ingestion.py. Okay, this is the Python code. Let me close this for larger vision. You can see this is the Python code that has been already built in, so already developed by Google, and we are going to execute. Read the comments in the file which explain the code what it's doing. So what I will do is like I'm not going to read, but you can pause at any stage and read through the code. So you can read from, take a pause from line number 1 to 25, pause 1, and line number 26 to 52, line number 53 to 76, line number 77 to 100, line number 101 to 125, and line number 126 to end of the line, end of the page. Okay, so now we got a fair idea about the code, and now the code populates the BigQuery table in the data files from cloud storage. So return to the cloud shell. Now set up the Docker container for Dataflow jobs. Lab requested to ensure you are in proper version. Run the following code to set up. So let's set up the following code. I misplaced somewhere. Okay, so here cd docker run. Okay, so this is pulling and getting downloaded. Okay, this is a 3.8 version. Source code as value container. You can go through this. Okay, now once the container is finishing pulling and starts executing in the cloud shell, run the install Apache Beam that is running container. So we'll do the same. Pip install Apache Beam. Once this is done, then we will navigate to Dataflow. So this is installing all the collected packages. Okay, this is taking more than what I expected. So anyway, I have to wait till this process get completed. I see some warning here, but I'm not sure whether this is going to impact my execution. But Google Cloud didn't mention anything about this, but I will still continue to do it. CD data flow and exporting the code, the project. And now here I'm going to run this. So you can see Python flow data ingestion file I'm going to run within the project Europe. Let me start this and then we'll see the explanation. Enter. Okay. So here the project, this is in Europe, and the runner is Dataflow runner, machine type is E2 standard, project within test of the staging location, temp location, and we are going to input the USA names and save it in the main session. So you can see all this happening in the background. In the console.type data flow. Okay, let's do this. The console data flow. Let me open it in the new link. Okay, here you can see the job that we just executed. It started over here. Okay, and it is running state. Once the job status is succeeded, you can move on to the next step. So it will take approximately 5 minutes to start, complete the work, and then shut down. Navigate to BigQuery to see the data is populated. In the meantime, we'll navigate to BigQuery. This is the BigQuery data. So let me select this. I don't see any refresh page here, so I will just try to navigate to different page and come back here. Here also, okay, refresh contents. Yeah, here I see some contents. We are yet to get the contents. So because the job is still in progress. So this has been run for 1 minute. So usually it is going to take 5 minutes. So I'll pause the video. I will come back once this is done. So coming back here, you see the status is succeeded and we got the green tick, and also you can see the elapsed time is about 4 minutes 43 seconds. That's pretty good. And let's go back to this BigQuery and check for refresh the data, and then we'll see whether we got the same as USA names. You can see this USA names. Let's select the table and let's go and see preview it. So we have the schema, we have the details. If you want to preview the data, you can preview it. So this is the state, gender, and all the details needed. Okay, there are only 9 records. I'm not sure why this is only 9 records, but anyway, this is just a preview, and you can see the details. So now let's check the progress. Okay, assessment is complete. Now you can pause the video and go through the review and run data transformation pipeline. You can understand what is we are going to do here. I will directly navigate to the code editor and get into the data transformations.py. So in the Cloud Shell, I have data transformations.py, and again, okay. Again, I'm not going to explain this. I want you to pause the video and understand what is this code about, what this data transformation pipeline is going to do. Okay, so line number 1 to 36 or 32. second set is line number 33 to 66 or else 62, and line number 63 to 89, line number 90 to 102, line number 105 to 133, line number 134 to end of the file. Okay, so I hope you have paused the video and understood the code what it is going to do. So let's continue with our task execution here. Run the following code to run transformation pipelines. Again, we will copy this code and paste it in the cloud shell and hit enter. So again, this code is started to execute, and you can see this is the project and it is in Europe, Dataflow runner and E2 and the project location, staging temporary location, as well as the input. Now this time head underscore USA.csv names. Okay, earlier it was only USA names. Okay, now again, if you want to see the job status, we can navigate to the jobs and let's refresh it here. Yeah, here you can see the job is getting started right now. So let's click on the name of the job. So it takes approximately 5 minutes to start, complete the work and then shut down. So this is in still job status. This view, okay, this is a different view I didn't see earlier. Okay, let's see what we have. Read from text, it's running. String to query, BigQuery row, write to BigQuery. So there are a few stages. Let's see whether I can expand the stages. Yes, this is interesting to me now. So this is the impulse running, emit source. I don't know what exactly the underlying architecture of this, but this is a good to see. So you can see the stage is not yet ready because this is still running. Let me expand everything and see what can be done from here. So this is having 8 stages. Okay, I don't know whether this is going to help in longer run. Whoa, so much of information. Okay, so this should be the first stage. Second, I mean within the read to text there are 3 stages, and string to BigQuery this is only one stage. And again, let's see the table view. Table view is only 3. This view is looking better for me. Yep. For me, this table view is little more better than the graphical view because that graphical view is too clumsy. This is kind of a hierarchical and tree structure. This is looking good. So you can see everything is running and there are few tasks starting. So let's wait for all this to complete. Now we can see some information about the job metrics, throughput, CPU utilization. Of course, we are only using the very limited resources, so I don't think this is going to cost anything because we can see very less batch we are trying to run. You can see there are some succeeded messages getting popped up. and you can see there is a lot. Okay, there are few stages are running and few are getting succeeded. And if you are more interested, maybe you can pause the video or try it yourself, because there are a lot of stages that is involved in this. And also we might not be required to understand all this, because this is the infrastructure done by Google. So looking good. So 3 minutes has been passed. Let me wait for a few more minutes, and once this is succeeded, I'll come back. Okay, now we can see the status is succeeded. We got the green light, green tick with 4 minutes 20 seconds in hand. Okay, so let's navigate to BigQuery as usual, and let me refresh the content if needed. Okay, let me refresh, and you can see there is another table called USA names transformed. Let's go to the preview, and you can see there is a transform happened. Okay, let's check the progress, and this is complete. Now review and run the data enrichment pipeline. So again, I will leave it for you to read this contents, and I will directly go to this step in the code editor for the data enrichment. So here I have a data enrichment. Okay, so again I will leave you guys to read the code. So for the line number 1 to line 32, you can pause and read it. Line 1 to 132, sorry, line number 1 to 32, and line number 33 to 63, 64 to 93, 94 to 123, 124 to 150, 151 to 184, 184 to rest of the code, rest of the file. Okay, so these comments will explain each and every step. So line 83 looks like, okay, let's see what it is. Let me go to the line number 83. Yes, x.equal utff for x in CSV row. Edit it to look like values. Okay, changing this to x for x in CSV row. We have edited the code. When you finish editing, just file and save. Now let's run the data enrichment command. Enter. So same process, this time we are doing the enrichment. So I will go back to this code, I mean BigQuery data flow, and then try to refresh, and I will start to see this session. So typically this start of this pipeline will take approximately 5 minutes. So let's see whether in 5 minutes it is getting started. Here you can see the job number 2025, I mean somewhere it went, yeah, and the job number, yeah, here it is again, the job. So let's try to refresh it over here. Yes, we have the job, and you can see the ID 2025 and blah 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 7642. That is exactly we came in from the Cloud Shell, and we are going to see the same things that we have seen earlier, same kind of steps, jobs, running modes, and those things. So I'm not going to deep into details. So I will pause the video for now, and you can see the graphical representation of it, or if you want it in the table format. But I will leave it as is, and I will come back once this job runs completed. Okay, so now we have came to the third job, that is for the enrichment job, and you can see there is 4 minutes 44 seconds and it is succeeded, and green tick, everything is looking good. So without any further delay, let me continue with the stage. Let me navigate to uh, BigQuery, refresh the contents, and I can see USA names enriched. And for the quick preview, and we can see the preview as well. Okay, and let's check the progress. So this is completed. Now review and run the data lake to data marked pipeline. So I will leave again for you guys to go through this step. So let me directly go to this cloud shell, and here data lake to data marked file. The code editor, I have opened it. Read the comments. Okay, let's do the same thing. Okay, so you can go through the lines, line number 1 to line number 30, and you can pause the video and understand. Line number 31 to 60, line number 61 to 90, 91 to 120, 121 to 150, 151 to 180, 181 to 210, 211 to 239, 242 to 67, 268 to rest of the code. Okay, so now let me run the data query, same process, hit enter. Again we will go to this stage, and once the code is executed, the pipeline in the data flow, we'll be able to see it here. Okay, so again once let me wait until it gets started. So the job is 2025. Here you go. Okay, directly from here also you can get the navigation of this job. Let me go to this. So you can see the job ID, and this is the graphical representation of the latest job that we run. And you can see the fourth job is also started execution. So again the same process whichever we saw in the during the first and second. So we will let this job to run and complete, then I will resume. Thank you. Okay, so the last data flow is also run completed. So the last one is what we did is the data lake to marked. Okay, so it took about 4.5 minutes. That's fine, and we have the succeed status as well as the green tick. So let's navigate to BigQuery, and let me refresh the contents here, and you can see there is a order denormalized side input data, and with the preview you can see some states. Okay, now let's check my progress. Looking good. So ETL stand for extract, transform, and load, submit, and our lab is completed successfully. So if you recall everything, we have done all the things that has been tasked. So okay, so this is what we did throughout this lab session. Okay, thank you for joining and have a great day. Bye.